Collector's Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Batman Tactical Suit version from Hot Toys, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. It's a $4 shipping. Click the link down below. Although for this one, as you can see, I bought it at Sideshow Collectibles. I have some spare, points that I just want to get rid of. It's around $50, so I just decided, you know what, just get it over with. I never, well, it's not that I hate them, it's just that the shipping is so expensive, so I just decided, you know, just go with Big Bad. But as far as the figure, the box is nice. You know, it kind of reminds you of that Wonder Woman Justice League, and on the back, as you can see, with the Wonder Woman, it says you can't save the world alone. You see here on the side, it says Batman. Kind of like this nice JL. I like this look, like a monochromatic look, Justice League. The figure itself is kind of, you know, bland when it comes to colors compared to Wonder Woman, who's a bit more vibrant. However, you know, I like it that way. I actually do like this figure, and it says Batman there. You can see the gold foil or something, and it's the inside of the box. You see a little JL on the bottom and this Batman symbol in the back. It says also. Right. Now, first and foremost, whatever you think about this Batman or Batfleck, you know, I know he's not the Batman anymore. I think we can all agree that, you know, whatever you think about the movies, you know, or he's a terrible Batman or whatever the case may be, we can all admit that his suit is pretty cool. You know, every suit that came out recently, from Batman versus Superman, you know, the armored Batman, at least we can give him that looks pretty badass. So you can see here one of his it kind of reminds you of the BVS Batman as well, with his gloves and whatnot. But yeah, my favorite so far is Bale, you know, because I just love the movie. Whether his portrayal is better than Michael Keaton or not, it's just how it affects you, I guess, overall. And that movie is the one who's Dark Knight, the trilogy, is the one who started my, I guess, addiction, if you want to call it, or my obsession with Hot Toys, because that movie was just great for me, you know, one of the best movies ever. This rendition of Batman, it's not gonna stick with me forever. However, the costume design and the transition to Hot Toys, another hobby that I do love, is just great. So I just feel the need to get this one. You know, I didn't have the initial intention of picking this one up. I said I was just gonna wait for the regular Batman and get the Batfleck head sculpt. But after seeing promotional pictures and, you know, reviews from other reviewers, I just need to pick him up. You know, pair him up with my BVS, which I don't have anymore. I'm sorry, with the armored Batman from BVS. That's one I'm not gonna get rid of. The reason I got rid of my BVS is that I feel like it looks too similar to the one upcoming from Justice League. And so you can see here, they have pretty much the same accessories. You know, this grappling gun with which you can put all the the attachments on the side. It looks similar. From the hands, it just looks the same. The grappling gun, the only difference is that, I guess, on the exclusive version, which is this one, you got the mother box and also the stand. But other than that, the eyes, mouth plates, the mouth plates is a bit different. It's mostly magnetic now. But yeah, you can see even the details. I don't have the BVS anymore to compare. However, if there's any difference, it will be so minimal that you won't even notice if, you know, you're not paying attention that much. And obviously, you can see even the batarangs are pretty much identical. It does come with these glasses and this, I don't know, are these grenades supposedly? Yeah. So there's two types, which is you won't be able, I suppose you won't be able to tell from just holding it unless you put them on. One is upside, like you can kind of tilt it upwards so it's sitting on his forehead, and one is he's wearing it. So a lot of people are saying he looks like is it Night Owl or whatever his name is from Watchmen, obviously one of Zack Snyder's, you know, movies as well, so you can kind of see the similarities in there. And that is the case, yes. But I wish they would have just made something simple for this sunglasses or whatever it is goggles that Batman uses. These are grenades, which I honestly do not remember when he used this. I believe the battle when the big guy I like Justice League, but it just won't stick to you. It's not one of those memorable moments like the first Avengers. It's fun. I didn't hate it. A lot of people, was like had complaints about it. I did not. It's just not memorable in my opinion. There's two separate halves to the movie. Like you would see Snyder's work, like from his cinematography, the first part, and then there's this guy from Avengers work. I forgot his name again. It's not Bryan Singer, but yeah, totally different. And this one is the same one as well. I've seen this in my armored Batman because I was fixing what they have. I'm not really sure what this is for. I didn't read the instructions or whatnot. He probably used this. This is one of those things where it does come with a lot of accessories, which is fun. That you can use them in different poses. I just don't see the significance on most of them, and they're not reusable compared to the Matrix Neo. The Matrix Neo, you can borrow his guns to another figure, and it would look awesome. Like you can't take this and put them on Captain America, for example, or Punisher or Daredevil. Maybe I suppose you could if you really want to. It just wouldn't make sense. And as you can see here, the faceplate and the eyepieces right there that you can swap out. And you can only get this human mother box in the exclusive version of the Batman. And I'll just give you a quick comparison. So the other one is the mother box that the Amazons kept. And this is the humans where they supposedly have put this away and dug a hole and dropped it in there. Nice details. It's a lot heavier than someone would think, but it's also a lot bigger than the one that came with Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman is nice details as well, but a bit smaller. This base right here, it was good in theory, to be quite honest with you, when they announced it. This hanger base looking thing, but now it's more of an annoyance because it's so big and your figure adds like an inch and a half or an inch of height, which is Batman that's already tall. So if you're putting him on a shelf that is kind of low, that would be a problem because his ears are hitting something. But yeah, it sounded good in theory. Now I felt like they should have just went for like a regular, because imagine like 5 of those altogether. It would take up a lot of space. And as far as looks, as I mentioned earlier, Zack Snyder's Batman, or the Batfleck, has just one of, to me, most eye-appealing looks ever. Now, is it functional, kind of like Bale's? Probably not, but look-wise, it just looks great. As you can see here, there's some paneling, some armors all together. I just like the overall feel of it. It has a lot of textures. So you can see some scratches and whatnot. This one feels like an in-between between this version and the let's say you got the BVS version, and then you got this one, and then the armored version. It just feels like the happy medium when it comes to his armor. Like he got the regular one. This one is kind of like, hey, I'm not really gonna fight Superman, but I still want some armor on my my Batman. So a little bit bulkiness, but not too bulky compared to the armored version. But boy, it looks great. And like the previous Batman, a lot of people are going to complain about articulation, but I actually don't mind because I was moving him around, and you can do some poses with his arms. The legs are a bit limited, and that's always been the case with Batman. I mean, it could be worse. You could be playing with the '89 Batman, which is not only you're worried about the suit cracking, but there's really no articulation whatsoever. And that's how the suit was designed, even on the movie, so you can't really blame Hot Toys for that. However, this guy, you can do some pretty decent movement, even with the heavy armory and all that. This is a heavy figure, by the way, so when you hold him, it really does feel like you paid $265 plus shipping if you bought it from Sideshow. It does really feel that way. But as far as texture, and you can see here, I mean, this is just beautiful. You can see that it's a different beast altogether, because you see all those paneling. I can see somebody making like a custom using this as a base, because it's just beautiful right here. It seems like those snake eyes, the G.I. Joe snake eyes pattern and all that stuff. Oh, I mentioned earlier, man, doesn't matter how you feel about Batfleck. This costume design is just it's nice. And as far as the head sculpt, I feel like I thought the BVS was good. I really did. If I was planning to do like a head sculpt comparison, but since I don't have that anymore, I thought that was a pretty good representation of Ben Affleck until I saw this one, and I can't wait to see the regular Batman now because I don't know, there's something about the new. I don't know if it's new. They said that the mouthpieces doesn't fit the BVS, but this looks more like Batfleck. I don't know. It's more refined, more texture on it. I don't know. The eyes, something about it. Like Batfleck has a very distinct, I would say, jawline or mouth. He has a lot of beard. That man can grow a beard in like 2 hours. He got some mole and whatever. But even if you take out, even if I just take the mouth plate out and then just line up mouth plates between him, Bale, and whoever, Captain America, you would know that it's Batfleck. And this is how you insert those silly goggles, the one that he does have. So you just take this off. That's from the side of his head, and you see there's an empty hole. I wish there was only one. As much as I like accessories, I wish they would have made that articulated so I don't have to switch back and forth. But yeah, it is what it is. I can see now maybe why they didn't do that. It might get damaged over time, but if you did, I mean, that means you're just playing around with it, and this is how that looks. This is how he looks like with the goggles on the top of his head. Looks pretty good. I've seen most reviewers, they said that they're not gonna put the goggles on. I would. I think that's the differential between tactical and the regular version, or of course outside of the armor plates. But I don't know, I kind of like the look with the goggles on. So, and it doesn't touch the eyes, so I don't think it's gonna damage any paint. Plus the paint on his cowl is black anyway, so there's nothing to be worried about. And as you can see here for his cowl, there's several textures, like on the side, on the front right here. So I don't think you're gonna damage any paint if you do so. Just gotta be careful with that nose. That nose is kind of pointy, and it's so annoying if you drop this hot sauce, which I have not, but I've done it before on my DX12, and then you're gonna create like a scratch and it's shiny. Yeah, don't do that. Protect your hot toys at all costs. So these are expensive figures. Yeah, I was so upset when I dropped my DX12. It created this little shine on the top of his head, and it just, I don't know, it just annoys the heck out of me for the longest time. And this is different mouth plates. This is him angry with kind of want to kiss you sort of look. Teeth clenched, camera not focused. But so it's a lot easier now to remove the mouth plate, which is I'm happy about, because not back in the day, BVS version, you gotta take out the entire head sculpt, kind of slide it in. And this is the look that I'm going for. I think this represents Batfleck really well. This kind of like a tiny mouth open, but the eyes are still the same way. You gotta take out the head sculpt and just kind of pry it out. Which is, in this case, I'm not gonna do a lot of. I'm just gonna put the glasses down. So so I only have to worry about the mouth plate. You just gotta find the right spot for the mouth plate, because you don't want to scratch the actual paint app. So you got to go to the edge, use a little bit of your fingernails, do not force it. You don't want to touch up any paint or anything like that. But here it is, another pose. So I raise this arm, kind of just shows you that there's no cringe when you do this kind of pose, because it is possible for this kind of pose in the regular Batman. And yes, his armors are movable, so you can kind of like position it tactically, no pun intended, to do this type of pose. So kind of him deflecting any incoming shots with his gauntlet. And I've seen what's that video from Dean? Yeah, guys. But yeah, one of the more veteran when it comes to mostly for Batman and and other stuffs. I watch him regularly. Yeah, he did some really nice posts for Batman. I would have done it as well, but I just I didn't have time, so I just put him in this like utilize some of his weapons and some boring poses. Because I was reviewing Neo as well when I was doing this, so I just want to release something real quick, and this is him kind of using whatever this gadget is. So if you know what it is, tell me on the comments down below. So next time I would refer to it not just a gadget. And yeah, just giving him a quick turnaround there. Nothing too fancy. I don't know if you noticed, but it's kind of far. His eyes are looking to the left. One of his eyes is looking to the right and one straight up. I don't know why, they did that. One should be like a little bit more angrier, I suppose, because of the angry head sculpt. Just give us variation, not left, right, and straight. Give us some emotions here, Hot Toys. Come on. Yes, and then the other post that I'm gonna show you is pretty much the same post. It's called laziness right here, people. I could have given him a different pose, but like I mentioned earlier, I was getting lazy. I'm just gonna put a batarang. I don't know, his grappling hook. Attach this string right here, and I don't know if you can see on the cape as well. I got lazy here. I didn't refer because once you take the head out, the cape stays, and then you gotta, which is kind of good because on BVS the cape goes along with it. I guess you can look at it as a good thing or a bad thing, because right here, if it stays, then that means you can do custom cape for this Batman, which you could buy along. There's a lot on eBay or forums. So if you want to give him something that's wired cape, which is pretty cool as well. So yeah, there's so many options with this Batman, and it just looks too darn good. As far as size comparison, you can see him here standing right next to Wonder Woman and armored Batman. He just looks awesome, man, this Batman. So like I mentioned earlier, I wish I had the BVS so I can give you the comparison, which he's kind of in between. Armored Batman is still taller, bulkier, which is he's supposed to be. But tactical suit looks like he can still move around, but not as freely as a regular suit. But he doesn't even look like much more of a tank like the armored Batman as well. So I didn't get I wish I would have gotten the battle damage version for armored Batman. But yeah, there you go, guys. If you are on the fence like myself, that's why it took me 3 months to even pick this figure up. I was waiting for the regular version. And I was just like, you know what, I can't hold on anymore. I need a Batman in my life. If you're holding for the regular version, that is totally fine. But if you pick this one up, if you're a Batman fan, not even a Justice League fan, forget about the movie or what your feeling towards the movie is. It's a nice figure. It really is. As a figure. Now, if you really can't get over the fact that you hate Justice League, then don't. No one's forcing you to buy this figure. I'm just stating my opinion. But that as a figure, as a whole. And as a fan of Batman, I was happy to add this guy into my collection. Would I sell this ever? Maybe, I don't know. But for now, I'm really satisfied with it. It's a nice touch to my collection, because when you look at the evolution of his Batman suit, I'm glad that I did pick this one up and not succumb to pressure of other reviewers and other haters, so to speak, about the movie. Yeah, the paneling, the armor, the overall feel of this beast of a Batman is enough, I guess, to justify the price that it came with. Now, until we get the regular Batman, then maybe my tone would change, because that is the preferred Batman of my choice. However, look at all these accessories with the mother box, and the overall presence is just there. So I would highly recommend it. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. Did I make a mistake? Are you guys gonna pick this one up? Thinking about it, whatever the case may be. And once again, thank you for watching, guys. Please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel. I try to put content every week, And then, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I will see you guys in the next review.